So I've been making candles since 2019, and back in my day, you either double boiled every candle using an old pot on your stove, or if you wanted to upgrade a little bit, you would get a portable hot plate that you could plug in anywhere and make candles anywhere in your house. Or you would get a soy light wax melter with or without a spout. And if you were like me, you got it without the spout and ladled every single candle from the Presto pot into the pouring pitcher. Yes, I actually did that for a few months in my candle business to make all of my candles. And now that it's 6 years later, I decided to hop on Amazon and take a look at all of the new cool candle making equipment for beginners. And I came across this melting pot. It's called a Ksedcon candle melting pot. And to me, it looked like a combination of a pouring pitcher and a double boiler method. It's kind of all in one. So I thought to myself, that is so cool. I have to try it. So I decided to buy it. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing this for the first time, making a candle with it, and giving my honest feedback on if I think this is worth it for beginners to start off with this rather than the old school double boiling method. So let me first take everything out of the box so we can see what it comes with. I decided to go with the cheapest option. This was only $30. So it came with a stir stick and a thermometer. I believe that's all it came with. And let me get this out of here. So the lid, plug, and the device. So here is what it looks like. I believe this is equivalent to a 2-pound pouring pitcher. So it's relatively small, but it's a good size if you're only pouring a few candles at a time. And in this video, I'm only gonna pour one candle just to try it. So I quickly read through the instructions, pretty self-explanatory. It's basically, there's two heating settings. There's low and high. Depending on the melt point of your wax, you either want to do the lower heating setting or the higher heating setting. Since I'm using soy 10, which is a lower melt point wax, I'm gonna heat on the low setting. If I was making a beeswax candle, as an example, I would do the higher temperature, the number 2 heating setting on here. Okay, so it didn't say to do this, but I just feel like I want to do it. This is just regular rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to clean out the pot since obviously I'm not just going to go clean this out with water. This is just going to wipe off any debris and natural manufacturing stuff that can get on this pot, and it's going to evaporate within seconds. So it's already out of there pretty much, the rubbing alcohol. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the wax melting while I prep the jar. So I'm going to get the wax melting first. Now this jar is a 13.5 ounce Cali jar. And this is their kind of forest green holiday color right here. And I am in the middle of trying to figure out which jars I want to take to our holiday candle making workshop. And we actually don't think we're going to use this one because we have a red one and a gold one, and we think we're going to take those. But we have this jar to use, so I figured might as well try it. And what I'm going to be doing is actually making a scent that I want to bring to our candle line. So come the new year, I am wanting to switch up, discontinue some things, some fragrances that just aren't selling very well, and try out some new ones. And the first one that I want to bring out is an amber and vanilla scent. So what I have right here is Candle Science's Amber Element and the Vanilla Element. I'm just going to do a 50-50 on these ones and see how it turns out. I always start with 50-50 whenever I'm blending fragrances, unless I know that one's going to be insanely strong, and then I'll adjust. But it's just a good starting point. And since I'm just having fun with this and testing it out, I'm just happy to be getting a sample poured. So the back plugs in right here, and then it is just a 3-prong. So we made sure to get a good high quality extension cord to plug this into. And it says do not heat without any wax in here. So I'm going to get the wax put in here. Since I'm going to be handling the fragrances too, I'm going to put my gloves on right now. And I have Soy 10, which is our wax that we use. It's also called AccuSoy number 10, in case you're curious. And I'm just going to put it inside here and get it turned on. So a little light just popped on right here. So you can see as I'm getting wax all over this device, a little light popped on, and I am going to put this little lid on, I think. Yeah, I think it should be fine, just like that. Just like a little regular pot lid with a hole at the top. So while that's right there, as soon as I see it start to really melt, I'm gonna take the stir stick and start stirring it. And I really like that they also give a thermometer in here. It's kind of a little beginner kit, honestly. You get the stir stick, you get the thermometer, and you essentially get a hot plate and a pouring pitcher all in one. Okay, so that's ready to go. So let me get the fragrance oil poured. So I have these little silicone cups, and this is actually a brand new one that we had in the room. So I'm gonna get this poured in here. So we use per one of these candle jars, we use 22 grams of fragrance with 264 grams of wax, so of soy 10. So I'm just gonna pour this on in here. I hope that there's 11 grams. Yeah, there is. I just wanted to do half and half. So 11 grams of the amber element and then 11 grams of the vanilla element, so that it does a total of 22. I forgot the stir stick. I forgot the stir stick to make pouring easier, but that's okay. This is how I used to pour in all of my videos anyways. So get just a tiny bit more. So I have my fragrance oil poured, and then now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up my jar. So I have two CDN wicks right here, and I have this wick setter, and I'm just going to place them down in the jar. Looking up, Chris already wiped this jar out for me. So we always wipe down the bottom of the jar, the inside, with rubbing alcohol, just again to get any debris or dust from out of there. So you can see those wicks down there. It's kind of silver on silver, so it's very shiny right now. So let me check this wax. We got a few little chunks in here, and it is still very low in temperature, but also this thermometer is a little laggy, so it kind of jumps up as it's finding the temperature. Okay, now the temperature is really starting to heat up in here. Wow, this actually heats up really, really well. We're already almost at that 185 degrees. So let me just get this put on here. I can already tell you guys, this is way better than double boiling. You don't have to deal with all the steam and the water boiling and all that kind of stuff. This already seems so much faster and honestly way hotter. Like it actually gets up to temperature pretty quickly. So I'm already at 188 degrees, 189. So this is ready for fragrance to be poured into. This is so cool. So what I'm gonna do is pour this on in here. I'm gonna turn this off and get this stirred in here. And you pour the fragrance oil directly in here. And I'm gonna stir for about 45 seconds. Okay, so one thing I can already tell with this, which I need to unplug this, they were saying it makes it easier to pour if you unplug this from the back, is that this heats up a lot. This heats up really well. If you're used to double boiling, this is hotter. Holding this up so you guys can see firsthand what it looks like when I pour it. Okay, this thing is really cool. I can already tell that I will actually use this even with our digiboils that we have. Sometimes I just want to help Chris out in the kitchen and just pour a few candles, and now I can. This is great. 10 out of 10 recommend. It does get hot. So if you are somebody who pours at who is very particular about the temperatures that you add the fragrance oil at and that you pour at, just keep in mind that it is different from a double boil, so you can't remove the pot and take off the heat source. The heat source is already on here. So it may be beneficial to you if you see it start creeping up into that like 160 mark, turn it off, still temp it, and maybe it'll be a little bit slower getting up to that 185, add in the fragrance oil, stir, and then if you need it to cool down to a certain amount, then you may have to wait, because as I was temping it, even when stirring it, I realized that it was still getting up in temperature. So it was about 195, maybe even higher by the time I poured, which is fine. We tend to pour pretty hot, but I guess we'll see the finished result. I don't know if we ever pour it that hot, but that is something to know and something that I realized with this. Also, in case you're wondering how to clean this, if you're saying, okay, well, you poured a fragrance in there, so then what do you do now? Is all I would do is take, I can do it right now. And actually, you can take a heat gun if there's any remnants of solidified wax in there, which because I wiped it out right away, there's nothing in here. But just take some rubbing alcohol, and careful, it might be hot. Doesn't feel too hot, and I'm not touching the bottom, but be careful, it might be hot when you're doing this. Just taking this off, cleaning it out, and then it's completely ready for the next fragrance. So I would say all in all, that took about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit over 5 minutes total. But I could have made more candles out of this. I could have made probably 4 candles using this. But yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. If you're wanting to get one of these, I'll leave the Amazon link down in the pinned comment down below if you want to grab one. Again, it was only $30. I feel like that's well worth it. Again, if you're somebody who is brand new and you're wanting something very simple and easy to use, this is really great. Or if you're like me, a seasoned candle maker that would love an alternative if you just need to pour just a few candles instead of turning on your big gigantic melter, this is definitely the way to go. But with that, oh, I also wanted to make a comment that this fragrance smells amazing. This smells so good. I can't wait to burn this. But with that, I'm going to end today's video right here, and I will see you in the next one.